Today we are at a place called Binurong Point, and this is the beginning area of it, right here on this little rocky beach area. This is where you pull in and you park your car and you pay your entrance fees, and you have to have tour guides also with you. I believe it's mandatory you have to have a tour guide, so this is where you take care of all that stuff. And here's the sign of where we're at. There it is, Binurong Point. And it's about a half-hour hike up to the top. And here's the signs telling rules and regulations and the do's and don'ts that you typically find at any attraction. And this is also where you pick up your tour guides. Raquel handled all that as far as the cost goes. I don't think they were very expensive. She told me, I can't remember what they charged. We had to have two of them for our group, because I believe it's because we had 7 people in our group. But if you're just a group of 2, 3, or 4, you can probably get by with just one tour guide. And then here's the food house, and they've got some food and refreshment that you could have before you head off on your journey up the hill. And that's what we did. And we're walking along the beach here in the beginning part of the journey, and got to go past all the souvenir shops, of course. Definitely be prepared for this trip with comfortable shoes to do your hiking in, bug spray, mosquito repellent, sunscreen, an umbrella for some kind of sun protection, sunshade, things like that. You definitely need to be prepared. I would call this a moderate hike. It's not very, very difficult, but it can be tedious, and especially on a day like today when it's so hot and humid. So half the crew, as you saw, they went across that bridge, and I ended up going this way along the beachfront for a little while, following my brother-in-law's here. And eventually the two paths meet, and we all just took the main path up to the plateau there.
Wow.
And you can see how rocky it is, and you can definitely twist an ankle or even break an ankle. So you got to be careful with your steps, and you really got to watch where you're going. And yeah, just be careful, and you'll enjoy yourselves. This is where we're catching up with the rest of the group. We all come together here, and we begin the more difficult part of the trip here. So here comes the rest of the gang. There's one of our guides, and Raquel, and Nicole, and who is that covered up? Oh, that's Shirley, my sister-in-law, all covered up like that. And you can see Zachary coming up here. He's bringing up the rear. Poor Zachary, he gets hot very easily, and the heat, he doesn't handle the heat very well, so he had a little difficulty at first, but he was a trooper, and once he got going, he did great. Of course, he's got youth on his side, so anyhow, there's a little stream running down the side of this hill as we begin our climb. Now we're in a little shaded area, a little forested area, which was nice. It kept the temperature down a little bit, but not too much. And we've made it to the halfway point here. We decided to take a break, drink some water. You can see everybody and Raquel fanning themselves and just trying to catch our breath and stay cool for the rest of the trip. Another section of wooded area, which helps again with the shade, so we just keep on going. We finally made it to the plateau, and this is the last shaded area, so we didn't go out onto the point yet. We wanted to cool down and get our last little bit of shade, because as you can see out there, there's no shade. It's just like this wide open plateau, and further ahead is the cliff area, but we're getting ready to head that way now. There's an island out there, or an outcropping of rocks. Don't know what exactly that is. I don't think there's any inhabitants on it, but just a rocky outcropping, and you can see from here that a lot of volcanic stone boulders here. And here we are at what I call the Gate of Death, jokingly. They had to open up this homemade, handmade wooden gate to go further, closer to the edge here. And this is where the views are really good. It's really beautiful. It doesn't even look like the Philippines. It kind of reminds me of some of the places in Hawaii. Very cool. And it looks like the brother-in-laws are out there already, out on the point, or it actually goes out even further. Oh, that's a guide and my brother-in-law. And yeah, you can see that narrow strip that you can go out to the end of it there. I didn't go out that far. I stayed back because I was trying to get the drone up in the air, but I'll tell you about that fiasco in a minute. There's Zachary. Yeah, he's had a good time. Great view. Look at that panorama. Alright, I did get the drone up in the air, but I'm kind of shooting blind because my iPhone, which monitors the view from the drone, was just overheated and totally black. I couldn't see what the camera was shooting. I could see where the drone was flying, but I couldn't tell how the camera was angled, what the camera was seeing, so I just winged it, and we just had a couple of these little shots here. So there's another island off in the distance, and it's beautiful. But that's about it. It was a beautiful day, beautiful views, well worth the trip.